I send you this one?
You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
Yeah, Monday. Good morning and welcome to The Scrimmage. I'm Daniel Hargrove.
It's Sunday. That was a throwback. I'm Justin Domashevitz, our trusty producer, Andrew Gross, here with us as well.
I listened to one of our old shows. Did Andrew send us that?
Yes.
Yeah, and I heard
Did you listen to the whole thing?
I heard the Yeah Monday. I think I listened to like 30. No, not quite all of it, but I listened to a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I loved the habitual, forceful Yeah Monday at the beginning of it. And I was like, I got to bring that back.
Yeah.
Except for
It's not Monday.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
You can say yeah, Sunday.
Could I though?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it could work.
I think it could work.
Anyway,
Besides,
we're here.
we just stole that from Eric Asilius anyway.
We did. I forgot about that. Yeah. That was a
Remember
good
when he
that's
used
good
to have a show on ESPN?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know. Yeah, because a lot of the other ESPN old hosts, like I see around at different places now, like, was it, how about a Fresca? Who is that guy?
Jason Smith?
Jason Smith, yeah. I see
he's
him
on
around.
Fox now.
Yeah, I see a bunch of the guys around. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Eric Casilius.
I don't know. He's probably got some kind of local show wherever he's from.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here. We're The Scrimmage.
Oh, I forgot we were doing a show.
Yeah.
We were just talking.
About stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to pump up the jam.
Pump up the jam.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he have a show with his brother
Eric
called
Asilius?
Sports Brothers?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's a really lame name for a show.
Yeah, Sports Brothers. I mean, it's nothing like The Scrimmage.
No, what? Why is our show called The Scrimmage?
Andrew, why is
I actually think it's kind of
That's
fitting.
That's the name that we came up with originally before we even invited Justin.
That's
Yeah.
true.
for
It was
like 4
pre-Justin.
episodes.
I don't think there's ever been an explanation for why our show is called that. I like it actually because a scrimmage is like a practice game. So it's
Yeah.
like a game that's not a real game. And
Yeah.
we're like a professional podcast that's not a real professional podcast. So in a way, it kind of works.
Well, also, the line of scrimmage was definitely in our
A
head.
scrimmage is actually just a game. Like
Yeah, but what about the line of
like
scrimmage?
in American football, it tends to be used as like a fake game.
Okay.
But the line of scrimmage is the line of scrimmage because that's the line of play.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
It's
wait a
also
minute.
related to the word scrum, I believe.
It's a rugby thing?
No,
that's
it's a football thing. like all of the footballs have it's
Soccer
it's
too?
football,
yeah.
soccer. What? Yeah, I guess so.
Association football, rugby, American
still
football,
stuck on this,
Canadian
like-
football, Aussie rules football, Gaelic football. They're all very related. Garlic football is my
Garlic
favorite.
football, yeah.
I'm still stuck on this like all games are scrimmages. I always thought of like a scrimmage as an exhibition game.
You know what? I
That's
get what
the
he
way
says
it's
though.
used in American English.
Oh, okay.
But
that's not the origin of the word. And the
Interesting.
reason we
Okay.
call it the line of scrimmage is related to the older meaning or the non-American meaning of the word.
It makes me think of the word skirmish.
I don't know
Scrimmage
if those
and
are
skirmish
related.
are those
I don't know if
related
those are
words?
related.
I don't know.
How
It's
close is a
skirmish.
skirmish to a kerfuffle?
A skirmish to a kerfuffle?
Yeah.
I'd say it's greater than.
I would say a skirmish could lead to a kerfuffle.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
gonna say kerfuffle feels more
Kerfuffle
severe
feels
to
like
me.
people pay more attention.
Well, maybe it's because I hear about skirmish. Like my experience with the word skirmish comes from watching like World War II documentaries, and those seem like more than kerfuffles.
But see, only the larger skirmishes would cause a kerfuffle. Because a kerfuffle is when the one general calls the other general, and then somebody else is yelling at people. That's a kerfuffle.
You're watching World
There's
War
more
II
emotional
documentaries?
involvement in a kerfuffle.
Dude,
What are you, some kind of super nerd?
my dad and
I just found out about
My-
a YouTube channel that is week by week giving updates on World War II. They're almost done, though. I just found out about this. They've been doing it for years.
What?
Every week they have a video telling what happened.
Like, oh!
yeah.
Wait, isn't the war over?
I'll give it to you, Daniel.
Ah!
Are you telling me? Are you telling me World War II is not over yet?
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
Not on
I need to
YouTube.
watch that with my dad.
I keep hearing that we're on the edge of World War III. How can we be on the edge of World War III when World War II hasn't even happened?
Because World War II caused World War III.
Justin, do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
It's all actually World War One.
Yep. Boom. That just blew your mind.
All of it is World War One.
Stupid World War One, which was also the dumbest war ever. Okay,
Also-
there's been some dumb wars, but still, you're gonna have to fight me to try and say that there was
Also,
a dumber war than World War One.
If there's no such thing as any of the other world wars, then wouldn't it just be the World War? Like we could
It's
take
the
the
Great
number
War.
off of it.
You're right.
Great War.
The Great War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, so many things were dumb about that war. Do we have time? Maybe I should start a
ahead.
podcast.
No, dude, I want you to tell me right now.
Well, not only were people fighting each other that they had like no real conviction fighting against them, because it was all they were all pulled in with treaties of smaller countries. So there's like a minor disagreement between like two tiny countries. I'm going super high level on right here.
Yep,
But basically,
super nerd, yep.
there was a little conflict between these two tiny countries. Can't remember them off the top of my head. Yes, I'm going like
Doesn't
finger to
work.
finger. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, you pull all these treaties, and it turned out that the UK had a treaty with this small country, and Germany had a treaty with this small country. And so when those two small countries fought, it meant that the bigger countries had to go fight each other. So the start of that war was dumb. But also, they would spend weeks upon weeks upon weeks fighting over like 20 feet of battleground back and forth, and just running waves and waves and waves of infantrymen into machine guns, because that's how you did it. That was the modus operandi of war at that point. Was everybody got out of their trench, they ran, and some of them got shot. But if you had more people than the bullets, then they would make it to the other trench, and that's how you won a war. That's the fight.
In theory.
In theory. But that theory
Can I just-
didn't work with machine guns, because they all just kept getting up and running into machine guns. Some of the soldiers were so apathetic about it, they literally brought soccer balls and started dribbling soccer balls as they were about to get mowed down by machine guns. It was the most mind-numbing loss of life in history. It's bonkers. Sorry.
Sounds
That's why
like a
Winston Churchill
dumb
came up
strategy.
Winston Churchill came up with the tank because of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill invented the tank?
That's the theory, I've been told.
Interesting.
But also I was told that by my dad, who might be the biggest Winston Churchill fan I know. So if he had any part in the development of the tank, it was going to be because of Winston Churchill.
Okay.
I forgot to send my dad the link to our show. Dang it. This is the one show he'd be like the most proud of me for going all World War
Unless
history
you got something wrong. Like if anywhere along the way of
Yeah,
that
that's a
you
good
got
call.
something wrong, then he would be texting you saying, "Why did you say that?"
Yeah, he'll probably re-listen to the show and be upset with me. But I feel like Andrew would have corrected me had that been the case.
Well, he only listens to us
well-
about 40% of the time.
The invention of the tank is credited to Sir William Triton and Major Walter Gordon Wilson, who collaborated to develop the first tank. I think anyone who's crediting Winston Churchill would say that he was like demanding it be developed or something.
Gotcha. My dad said he was watching, so you're going to have to text me, Dad.
Dad, did he do a good job of explaining that?
Yeah, sorry.
Also, refute Andrew's claims diminishing Winston Churchill.
Churchill's involvement in the origins of the tank.
So, sports show.
Right,
And
sorry.
That was no, I literally begged you for that.
Right,
Arguably, Leonardo da Vinci first invented the tank
That dude did everything.
in a sketch.
Yeah. Which totally...
Isn't he a
plays out
Ninja
to-
Turtle?
Yes,
The best
Leonardo?
Ninja Turtle. Yeah.
definitely the
The
best.
best
inventor.
one?
The best one.
Third best.
Oh, what? Who are you going ahead of Leonardo?
Well, Michelangelo, first of all.
The dude who gets
Michelangelo just
angry and
painted
screws
a
everything
ceiling.
up every time?
That's Raphael. Know your Ninja Turtles.
Oh, sorry.
better.
You're talking about the goober who goobs things all the time?
Yeah, the goober who goobs things.
Yeah, he is the best.
Yeah, and then Raphael would be second.
No, Raphael's the guy
Yeah.
who makes everything worse every time because he gets upset.
You know what, though? I'm really slighting Donatello here.
Yeah,
He's
you
the
are.
tactical genius. He might be the best one.
I'm hungry for pizza.
Yeah. Me too. This show is completely off the rails.
Forgot we were doing a show.
Welcome
Right.
to the Scrimmage, where we talk about everything except for local sports.
Wait, aren't we a local sports show?
Oh, wait. Okay.
We should get to local sports, but before we do that, we have to do the 2-minute drill.
Let's go, hurry up! Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation, 44 seconds, hand the ball around. Gonna do it right. 3 jet Buckeye, don't worry.
The 2-minute drill starts now.
Russell Wilson wore a glove out on the mound to throw out the first pitch at a Pittsburgh Pirates game last week. You don't have to catch a ball to do that, if in case anyone's wondering. Daniel, was that a cringy move by Russ?
You know, it's gotten a pretty big reaction, but I get it. Throwing a ball without a glove is weird, and I don't like it. And so I totally get the move. I don't know why other people don't do it.
That's what my reaction was, wait, doesn't everybody wear a glove to throw a first pitch?
Virtually no one.
Yeah, I don't think I've
How
ever
do they
seen
hide
it before.
their grip?
Yeah, you got to fool that catcher. Like that one time that Vlad Guerrero threw a pitch to that coach, and then the coach blew out his knee, and nobody knew what happened. Oh, that was gross.
Yes.
The Seattle Seahawks selected Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy with the 16th pick in the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday. Justin, did Seattle make the right choice?
I really like it. I mean, it's a position of need. This was the second defensive player off the board. He had a grade to be picked in that area, and I think Seattle felt really lucky, like Andrew was pointing out to us repeatedly in our chat. Look at all the skill position players and the offensive players that are going. This lines up perfectly for Seattle to get the guy that they wanted, and I think that they got him, even though the rumors suggest they might have tried to trade up into the top 10 to get Michael Penix. The Seahawks didn't have a pick in the second round, but made 7 selections between the 3rd and 6th rounds. Daniel, which of those guys has you most excited?
Oh, I think the one that has me most excited is the linebacker.
Tyrese Knight?
I like what I see from Tyrese Knight. I feel like John Schneider has done a pretty darn good job identifying linebackers in the past. Off-ball linebackers, pass rushers not so much, but I mean, he drafted Bobby Wagner out of nowhere from Utah State. He drafted KJ Wright from Mississippi State. He drafted Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech.
Sounds right.
All of those guys have turned out pretty dang good. So the fact that he found this random dude from UTEP, I think I'm excited about that move. I'm really curious to see how his career stacks up with your boy from North Carolina, since all their measurables seemed almost exactly the same.
Pretty close, yeah.
The Seahawks didn't... Oh, wait. Did you just read that one? Yeah, my bad. The Mariners are hot. Justin, did you ever doubt their hotness from a minute?
You know what? This team has had some ups and downs this season. They've been in the trenches. They've been in the depths. They've been really bad for a while. But I never doubted them for a minute. And now... they are back.
Oh, way to bring it full circle. Trenches, trench warfare, World War I. There it is.
That's
nice
exactly what I was intending to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just proud of you right now.
Thank you.
Just proud of you.
Thank you.
They've been in the trenches. I haven't heard that used, though, so you really had to pull that in for being down in the depths. Usually the trenches are like where the work gets done.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing that too.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been doing the work, the dirty work.
Especially their starting pitches, which has been bonkers. Yeah. Have you been reading any of the texts that Andrew and I have been sending to our group chat?
Yeah. So
nuts.
so they've allowed. Okay, so let's pull up that stat actually that Andrew sent us.
Oh crap!
What?
Mariners just gave up a run. They're down 3-2.
I jinxed them. That was my fault.
Gosh dang it!
Can you do
Okay,
this,
this
Justin?
is the George Kirby one. That's not right.
You're looking for the pitching.
Yeah, pitching ninja. Nope, that's George Kirby again.
You're looking for the codified baseball tweet.
There we go. Wait. You know what, Andrew? You send us too much good stuff. It's hard to keep track of it all. Oh, I found it. Okay, so total runs allowed the last 15 games.
Yeah.
And it has a list of all the different teams. The last one is the White Sox. They've allowed 94. Second is the Phillies, who have allowed 50.
Yeah.
Mariners are first with 29.
And who's second, Justin?
He just said.
And where do you think second is?
He just said.
He
literally said that
I'm
before
sorry.
he said
I
the
did say,
Mariners.
like-
you started with the White Sox.
Yeah.
I thought you were going the wrong direction.
No, I
My bad.
I actually just said 2 minutes ago that Andrew only listens to 40% of what we say.
Yeah.
And there's 2 reasons for that. One is we're dumb, and also he's trying to do other things at
Yes.
the same time. So,
Yep.
so
I'm sorry.
Seattle is 20, and then this doesn't include today's game, obviously, but 21 runs better than the second best team over a 15-game span. Yeah. And we knew that their rotation was going to be good.
Yeah.
But that's that's 1/10 of the season ish, and that's a pretty crazy number.
Yeah, especially their bullpen has been so much. I know they've given up a run today, but without Brash and without Santos, their bullpen has been ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous in that. And it sucks because there's news today that Brash has been shut down, and he's going to go see a specialist in Dallas. It's really weird what's going on with him. He feels fine while he's throwing, apparently, and he's going full bore. He's doing everything with his pitches, but apparently it's the day after. They can't figure out why he feels the way he feels day after, and so he's going to.
Is it his elbow?
I thought that
Might
they
as well
shut
just
him
give him
down
the Tommy
because
John.
he was throwing and he said all the throws were feeling bad. That's what I read.
That might be more. I was just listening to the broadcast,
Gotcha.
and that's what they said on the broadcast. So
Gotcha. What I read was that he was doing a bullpen and every throw felt bad. Like it just didn't. Like he didn't feel right and didn't feel right and didn't feel right.
Oh,
and
that's
then
not good.
Then they shut him down and he was going to see the doctor.
Well, hopefully Santos can come back because this bullpen is already filthy. But there's going to be another injury because pitchers get hurt. Like they haven't been able to figure that out at all. So but the bullpen has been lights out. And without those two guys, I think that's kind of a surprise to people. But Munoz, besides that one weird game where he walked 4 people, Thornton's been great. Spire's been great. Stanek has been awesome. I feel like I'm missing somebody in there. Oh, freaking Saucedo.
Oh,
Has
freaking
been
Saucedo.
freaking Saucedo. That dude is a goob and awesome. I love that guy. But it's been great. So it's not just been the starting pitching. The Mariners bullpen's ERA is the best in the league right now. So it's been awesome to watch that pitching staff. It'd be nice if the hitters could hit with a little bit more consistency, but you know what? I'm just thinking that this is the Mariners' way since the end of the Kingdom.
So I got a question for you guys, though.
Oh,
Brian Wu struck out 6 batters last night in 3 1/3 innings in Tacoma. When he's ready to come up, what do you do?
Put him in because I have him on my fantasy team.
Don't put him in because I got Hancock on my fantasy team.
Get Hancock out of there.
Hancock's been awesome.
Hancock's
and
a
that's a
loser.
problem, Andrew, is
And I'm not motivated.
are
by
they
my
going to
fantasy
go
team at
6-man rotation? Or here's what I would do, which is a little bit more creative, and I don't know if they would A, think of it, or B, think it's a good idea because they know more than me. But my initial thought is Hancock starts one game, goes 5 innings. You put Brian Wu in to go the next 4 innings. So your bullpen gets a complete day of rest. And then the next game, Wu starts. Next turn in the rotation, Wu starts and goes 5 innings. Hancock goes 4 innings. I know there's the whole mental thing of starting pitchers and pitcher-only dudes are weird and it'd probably screw them up mentally, but that's what I would like to do.
I was wondering if you would have your two it's Emerson and Wu are the 2 youngest. I was wondering if you would have them just literally give them an extra rotation of rest. So you'd pitch them every 10 days instead of every 5 days?
That could work.
I was thinking that maybe do something like that.
Bryce Miller is also stupid young. You could do a weird thing with all 3 of them. The problem is you would have to take an arm out of your bullpen, which I think would
have him. Right, okay.
But I think that would be worth it in that case.
Could you just shift one of those guys to the bullpen?
You could put,
but not
Miller,
Wu though, because he's on my fantasy team.
Well, fantasy. I mean, relievers.
Hancock, definitely Hancock.
Relievers do stuff too.
Yeah, but they don't get as many wins or as many innings to,
Yeah, but their ERA, they can help the ERA.
True. I have Munoz also.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. You're in first place.
I think I'm in second actually.
Oh, did Sean pass you?
Yeah,
because I'm right behind Sean.
The 3 of us are dominating this league right now.
Pooping on everybody.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
It figured. By the way, my dad says Churchill started the Landship Committee and pushed for tanks in World War I.
That makes
Didn't
sense.
invent them, but pushed them through bureaucracy to get them used.
Man, Andrew, don't you feel dumb?
No, I feel. I feel dumb.
What I said.
And that's pretty much what Andrew said. So,
boy, was Andrew wrong. Bad job by you, Andrew.
I just love that my dad knew the name of the committee.
He looked it up.
The Land Ship Committee.
Googled it.
Because that's what it was. It was a land ship.
You know he Googled it.
My dad?
Yeah.
You think his Google skills are that good?
He couldn't
I
Google Winston Churchill invents tank.
I have so much more faith in my dad just knowing that off the top of his head from all of the Winston Churchill. Like, my dad's read his biography like 10 times. So I'm going to say that he's got that memorized.
I think autobiography.
What?
Probably. I think he wrote it, so it'd be autobiography.
Interesting.
You
So-
know what? Semantics!
Unless he's reading, I'm sure there's lots of biographies of him too.
Yeah.
I
That's a
mean,
good point.
honestly, if he's so smart, why didn't he memorize it after reading it once?
I mean, maybe he did.
Maybe he did. What's going on?
Sorry, Dad. I'm trying to antagonize Daniel right now, and you're catching a stray.
You know what? He might chase you down and pin you to the ground and tackle you
I
again.
100% always feel like that's a possibility at any given moment.
Yeah.
That's why I do not misbehave
What
around
did you
him.
do?
I don't even remember.
I can't remember. Did you
So-
bean me?
So I don't. You know
It
what?
was- every time. Oh my gosh!
Who hit a home run?
Nope.
What happened? What did Dad say?
This pains me for two reasons.
Okay.
I thought my dad. I just had this high expectation of my
He
dad.
Googled it.
He said Justin was right. I Googled it.
Champion. I know Dad better than you do.
You know what this is? This is Jim joining Justin in antagonizing Daniel.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. Also, what you're referring to is an instance at a wiffle ball tournament
Yeah.
that was hosted at your parents' house many years ago.
We hosted the original Wiffle Ball World
yes,
Series.
correct. And I did something. I was young.
I assume
And
it was something me related.
your
Usually
father-
only hurt you because of me.
Your father chased me down
Yep.
and tackled me and pinned me to the ground in a way that I don't think very many men of his age would have been able to do to a young, strong me. I'm old, fat, and weak now. But at that time, I was pretty strong.
Yeah.
I was powerless against him. And I don't remember what I did at all.
Yeah.
But I do remember after it was all over thinking, I deserve that.
Man,
I mean, it's a safe bet.
if he would have seen half the stuff that you and Jimmy did to me
We don't need to bring that up now.
over the years,
Because as I mentioned, I always still feel like it's a possibility that he's going to chase me down and tackle me. For, we don't even bring up anything that happened way back then.
okay, we should probably move on. We should probably move on.
You want to go to my favorite part of the show?
Your favorite part of the show.
Okay.
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
Stump Daniel is brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz. And Daniel, in the honor of the NFL draft having taken place
Yes.
and seeing something that has never happened before, which is 6 quarterbacks selected in the top 12 picks.
Yeah.
Which, as Andrew has pointed out, helped lead to the Seahawks getting the second best defensive player on the board.
In their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, in their mind, was he the second best or the best?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I
don't
think
know.
on their board they said that he was the best
really?
defensive
Okay,
player.
so-
Okay,
Yeah.
so I haven't listened to any of the content of what they've said afterwards.
I
Who was the
believe-
first guy taken?
I don't remember.
It was Vatu, right? Or
Was there a corner taken?
it was Latu.
Okay.
Latu? Is that his name?
I don't know.
I think
Sounds
he was
right.
defensive end.
But I thought, Daniel, let's go back to the only other time in history
His story.
where 6 quarterbacks have been taken in the first round.
That's happened before?
Many people have called this the greatest first-round draft class of all time. In 1983,
Yeah.
I've heard
there
this
were
reference.
6 quarterbacks taken.
Okay.
3 of them, I'm not going to ask you for all 6 because that would be unfair. But 3 of them
But
became...
what if I got all 6? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Tugatu was so edge rusher.
Okay.
You would not get all 6. You wouldn't get 4.
Sonny Brister.
You're going to know...
Is that how you say his name? Some of these names are only names that I've heard. Like, I've never actually seen them in print.
In 1983, I'm going to go, this is a multi-part question, but the first one is, who are the 3 quarterbacks of the 6 who were drafted in the first round, which, by the way, only 28 picks because there was only 28 teams then.
Weird.
Of the 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, 3 of them made it to the Hall of Fame. Who are they? 1983.
Dan Marino.
Correct. Dan Marino was taken 27th overall.
What?
Steal.
What college
by
did he
name.
go to?
He went to Pittsburgh, and actually,
I knew that.
because I grew up a massive Dan Marino fan. I know that
Yeah.
out of his junior year, he was considered to be like top pick guy.
Yeah.
He had a slightly down senior year by his standard,
And he fell that
and fell to the
much?
27th pick. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he is one of them.
Oh. Mariners pitcher. Oh, Saucedo. I was just giving you all this love, and he just booted a ball and made it so the infielders couldn't field it. Sorry.
There you go.
Dan Marino, John Elway.
John Elway was the first overall pick
Yeah, he
by
turned
the-
out to be pretty good.
by the Baltimore Colts.
What? He didn't turn out to be pretty good for them.
No, he refused to play for them and got traded to the Denver Broncos.
Nope.
Yeah.
So he was Eli Manning before Eli Manning?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't we see that anymore? Have you ever wondered about that?
Well,
It's a lot harder to do.
Well, it comes up as a rumor all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there were rumors about that with Joe Burrow and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But I think that in part, at least, guys don't want to deal with how negative the publicity would be if they did that. But also recognizing how quickly franchises actually can turn around once you get the pieces in place.
Yeah, but then you're still in Cleveland.
Yeah, but also, GMs have to know, like, that'd be career killing if with a high draft pick.
Yeah.
So they probably want to make super sure it won't happen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
One more in this draft class, Daniel. A first-round quarterback
What I
who
said-
made the Hall of Fame. You got John Elway and Dan Marino.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly was the 14th overall pick by the Buffalo Bills. Do you want to take a shot at any of the other quarterbacks? There's 3 others.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sonny Brister. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I remember a Bubby Brister.
Bubby Brister?
Yeah.
Sonny.
Bubby. You know Bubbies.
I
You
am
are a
Bubby.
Bubby. You are
yeah,
a Bubby.
I'm
Yeah.
Bubby.
If Francis was listening,
My,
he
yes,
would have said you're a Bubby.
that's true. Who's Sonny Brister, and why is that name sticking in my head?
I think it's made up.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
No wait. Oh, never mind. Benjamin Sonny Brister obituary. That doesn't sound right. Who am I thinking of?
No idea. Were you thinking of Bubby Brister?
Was
Or
I
Sonny
mixing it-
Bono?
Who's
Were you
Bubby
thinking of
Brister?
Were you thinking of Sonny Bono?
I was not thinking of Sonny Bono. Oh wait, Bubby Brister.
Justin already asked you if you
I
knew
know.
him.
I know he did. I didn't know that guy was actually a football player though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
No.
Sonny Bono.
Something Bergman. No. Steve Bargeman. Dang it. I just heard somebody say all the
know,
names of this draft class.
One of them starts with a B, and he has a very blah first name. So you're
John
kind of on
Blah
the
blah blah.
Blah 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 blog. Okay, I'm annoyed with myself for not remembering, but yeah, I can't get the rest of it.
With the 7th overall pick, Kansas City Chiefs took Todd Blackledge,
Okay.
who was a bust.
Shocker.
And
You mean he didn't have like legs and arms? He was just from here up?
he
Sorry.
he passed for 5,286 yards in his career, but 29 touchdowns to 38 interceptions. Not great.
No.
The other guys didn't have terrible careers. With the 15th overall pick, the New England Patriots selected Tony Eason,
Okay.
who passed for over 11,000 yards, 61 touchdowns, and 51 picks. Didn't pan out. He had
Yeah.
a pretty short career. And the last guy was Ken O'Brien by the Jets,
good
taken
old
at
Ken.
24. And he actually had a pretty good career. The last guy was Ken O'Brien. Couple of Pro Bowls, 25,000. What was that?
Am I the only one hearing that?
I like hearing myself over and over again
I
because
don't.
my voice sounds good. But Ken O'Brien, couple of Pro Bowls, 25,000 career yards, 128 touchdowns to 98 picks. Pretty good for the Jets,
Yeah.
but not on the level of the other 3 guys. For bonus points, Daniel, who are the other 4 players? How many can you name of the other 4 players from this first round who went to the Hall of Fame? Which is the reason why people often call this the greatest first-round draft class of all time.
Because there was 7 Hall of Famers.
7 Hall of Famers in the first round.
That's nuts. And bolts.
I'll give you the positions. There's a running back.
I get the permission.
You're never gonna. Yeah. There's a running back,
Okay.
a offensive guard, a defensive back. Actually, he was a corner, and an offensive tackle.
A running back in 1983.
Yeah. I'll give you one guess at each position, unless you want to pass on the lineman, because who knows linemen from that? Except one of the linemen is actually a guy I know the name. The running back was the second overall pick behind John Elway.
This is like right outside my knowledge base.
Well, you were not born yet. This was actually before I was born, and I'm the oldest person here.
Yeah. Who's that? I feel like the running back will be somebody that I know the name of.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. An all-time great.
Yeah. Okay, I still want to try and guess, but I am forfeiting because I don't know any of them.
Okay.
But I want to know the team of the running back.
The Rams.
Tony Dorsett?
Eric Dickerson.
Eric, that's who I totally meant.
Do you want to know the lineman?
Yeah, just say the names. I pass.
Jimbo Covert.
Oh, good old Jimbo!
Didn't know that one. Played for Chicago. And Bruce Matthews was actually a name I know.
The Bruce Matthews Band?
Played for the Houston Oilers.
I just broke it.
And the last one is a cornerback. I feel like you should get this.
Uh-oh, really?
A cornerback for the Redskins.
And they were that team name back then.
And also was one of the guys who, when they used to run this race, was like fastest man in the NFL. And he played a really long time. So he was still playing when you were watching football. I think he played till he was like 40.
Really?
He played a super long time. And I think he played his whole... I'll check it, but I think he played his whole career in Washington.
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me. I'm excited to learn who this is.
Daryl Green
Oh, yeah.
played...
I know that name.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 seasons
Holy cow.
for the Washington Redskins, and he retired in 2002.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ah,
that's
that was-
Stump Daniel, which was brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Tomaszewicz. And honestly, I feel like, we brought up Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Things that happened in the 80s.
I used to call the
Jeffrey A.
Dolphins...
Tomaszewicz would be very proud
That's
of that.
true. I used to call the Dolphins the Marinos.
Was that on purpose?
Oh, yeah. I think so. Maybe now I don't know.
I had an insane amount of Miami Dolphins memorabilia
I like
around
the
my room
colors.
when I was a kid. I still have some of it in a box in my shed.
Yeah.
I have a Dan Marino clock. The hands are broken off, but I still have the clock.
You broke his hands?
No, not his hands.
He's
By the way,
still
hands of the clock.
throwing touchdowns.
Yeah.
When you mentioned how many yards that one guy had, what was that, Todd Blackledge?
Yeah. It was like,
Did you see that clip of the Chicago broadcasters
Yes.
asking Roma Dudze if they knew who was the all-time leading receiver of Chicago Bears history?
and it was like 5,000 yards, and he was like, "That's
For-
in a career?"
Yeah.
It was some guy who played in like the 60s. And they were like, "Now you know what we're dealing with."
Yeah. That was perfect.
I feel like
I like Roma Dudze so much more now because of that.
that was awesome, and
Yeah.
also Roma Dunze is gonna break that record in like 6 years.
Right.
Like that. I'm not
Assuming
saying
that he's playing for the Bears in 6 years.
Oh, that's a good point.
that is a really good point. I feel like they're pretty set up right now, right? Like
They're the Bears,
I-
though.
they've ruined a lot
Do
of
not
quarterbacks.
trust them not to screw it up.
My dad said I got Dickerson right without Google. Okay. Calm down.
We would expect nothing less, though. Let's be honest.
Oh, Mariners down to their last out. No, okay, so they've gotten out twice. So that means that if I stop watching, they're going to hit a home run.
Stop watching.
Okay, so I'm going to stop watching.
Okay.
They're gonna
And
hit a
actually,
home
it's perfect timing for us to take a commercial break because we have a local sports roundup, a very robust local sports roundup.
Robust.
With lots of cool stuff, including more great things by Jane Roloff.
Where are our cookies? Sorry.
I don't know, but I'm about ready to end my boycott. We got to
might-
talk about this because she is, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
That's a power move right
Like,
there.
there's
It
only
is.
so far. Like, we were like, okay, Jane can't be athlete of the week until cookies. And then she was like, I'm going to show you guys.
You
Yeah.
want to bet?
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hold out on this strike.
Yeah.
Because
We'll have to see how it goes.
it's just
There's
ridiculous.
some other good nominees, too. And we got
Yeah.
a good local sports roundup. But before we do that, let's take a quick commercial break.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
You got in trouble.
I put food in my mouth.
Oh, so I have to talk. Thank you so much to our sponsors,
Dad.
the Law Office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz and the Spivey Realty Group, the sponsor of our Spivey Athlete of the Week. You are savoring tasty goodness,
It's so
and
good.
I am holding tasty goodness, and I can't eat
Can
it
I
yet.
have it?
No!
It's really good.
Of course it's really good. The Mariners lost. They lost 3-2 in the most Mariners way possible. Not able to score more than 2 runs.
How about we start the local sports roundup and I read the first one? That way
Okay.
you can eat your thing. So let's get it going with the local sports roundup. Why can't you just eat without the noises? Montesano's baseball team secured the outright 1A Evergreen League title with a 13-0 win at Elma on Tuesday. The Bulldogs are the number 1 ranked team in State 1A according to the RPI. They got 1 hit apiece in that game from Zach Timmons, Bodie Polar, Jackson Wilson, Caden Grubb, Tice Peterson, and Torrin Kreitz.
Is that everybody who played?
Timmons, Polar, Wilson, and Kreitz each scored twice. They're getting contributions all over the place. Camden Taylor got the win on the mound, pitching 4 innings of shutout ball, allowing 3 hits and striking out 3.
Wait, Tice plays baseball?
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Well, Tice didn't.
What position does he play?
He stopped playing baseball for a while, and then he decided to play again for his senior year.
And he's just like, oh, I'll be a varsity player.
Yeah.
And contribute.
Yeah.
That's my guy. PL Willapa Valley's baseball team swept a doubleheader against Acosta 16-1 and 13-3. Cheese Keaton and Liam Smachez, that's not how that's spelled, led the Titans with 3 hits each in the first game, and Smachez also picked up the win on the mound. Braden Ruddle and Canyon Clements led PWV with 2 boots?
I'm gonna say hits. I'm gonna say that I was supposed to say hits.
2 hits apiece in the second game.
I think it's an
didn't know what it
autocorrect
was.
thing.
The
It's gotta be an
Titans,
autocorrect.
the
thing.
Titans split a doubleheader at Owako on Wednesday, winning the first game 6-0 and dropping the second game 2-0. Cheese pitched a complete game shutout on just 80 pitches in the opener, allowing 3 hits and striking out 8. Lucas Lusk hit a home run in the win.
I want to say, as side notes, pitching a complete game shutout with 80 pitches is amazing.
That's awesome.
And also congratulations to Braden and Canyon on your 2 boots. Aberdeen softball team won at Black Hills 4-0 on Monday. Lily Camp recorded the shutout in the circle, pitching all 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits, walking 3 batters, and striking out 16. Camp also hit a 2-run homer for the Bobcats. With another great pitching performance, Aberdeen snagged a home win over Rochester 5-0 on Wednesday. Annika Hollingsworth pitched a complete game 1-hitter with 15 strikeouts, while also going 2 for 3 at the dish with a 2-run home run. So a little pattern there. Aberdeen pitchers pitching great and also hitting dingers.
That's awesome. I mean, Black Hills, more like Crab Hills, am I right?
Good one.
More like Crochester, am I right?
Yeah.
Too far?
Take that, rivals.
Montesano's softball team held off a late rally to beat Elma 8-7 on Monday to remain undefeated in league play. The 3-run home run by Ali Parkin and a triple by Teander Olson gave the Bulldogs an 8-2 lead in the top of the 7th. But the Eagles scored 5 runs in the bottom of the frame, thanks in part to RBI doubles by Emmy Spencer, of course, and Lindsey Bednarik, of course. Parkin went 2 for 4 in the game with a 3-run tater for Monty, and Spencer went 2 for 3 with a dub, 2 runs, and 2 RBI for Elma. Monty was back in action on Tuesday with a 19-0 win at Schmeatonville. Liv Robinson led the Bulldogs, going 4 for 5 with a double, 2 runs, an RBI, and a stolen base. Kylie Wisdom went 3 for 5 with 3 runs, 3 RBI, and Addie Kersker went 3 for 4 with a double and triple, 4 runs, and 1 RBI, and 2 swipes of the bags. Parkin hit another dinger in that one. Whew! Lots of stats.
Parkin, by the way, in the running for league MVP. We'll see how that pans out, as there still is a decent amount of games to be played for these softball players.
When you got a name like Parkin, it's perfect for
Parkin it,
baseball.
Man. Yeah. She's the one who, I think last week we had her with an inside the park and an over the fence home run. Does that sound right?
Something like that.
Anyway.
It feels like cheating.
Moving on to Hoquiam softball team. They destroyed Denino, which makes me very happy. 18-1 on Monday with 18 hits and 6 dingers as a team. In the second inning, Faith Prosh, Lexi LaBounty, and Katie Sauer hit back-to-back-to-back jacks for the Grizzlies. Prosh hit 2 more home runs in the game and ended up going 4 for 5 with 3 homers, a triple, 4 runs scored, and 8 driven in.
Why even ponder pitching to that girl?
Avery Howard also hit a home run for Hoquiam. The Grizzlies won again on Wednesday, 11-4, again against Tenino, which makes me very happy. Maya Stansteifer and Avery Howard each went for 4 for 4 in the game. Stansteifer had a triple, a double, 2 runs, and 5 RBI, and Howard hit a double and scored twice.
Oh, so Stansteifer was a homer short of a cycle in that game. Sticking with softball, PL Willapa Valley and Ocasta split a doubleheader on Monday in PL. The opener, PWV, won 3-1 on a 3-run triple, while Carly Phelps. I can't.
Otherwise known as a triple.
That could be it.
Okay.
I've heard it both ways. Lauren Emery got the win in the circle, pitching all 7 innings, allowing 6 hits and 1 earned run. Ocasta picked up a 7-3 win in the nightcap. Samantha Schlegel hit a 2-run homer for the Wildcats. Jesse Gilbert, here we go, went 3 for 4 at the dish with 2 doubles, a run, and an RBI, while also pitching all 7 innings, allowing 1 earned run on 5 hits and striking out 13. Across both games, Gilbert pitched 13 innings, allowing 1 earned run and striking out 27 batters.
That's a lot. Ocasta hosted Tahola on Wednesday and won 19-1. Jesse Gilbert went 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, and 3 RBI. The Wildcats unfortunately dropped both ends of a doubleheader against Forks on Friday, 5-4 and 12-5.
The Fartons.
Jonah Rosander hit a 3-run shot for Ocasta in the opener, and Gilbert matched her with a 3-run dinger in the nightcap.
Montesino's boys soccer team beat Elmo 1-0 on Monday.
Did you say it French because it's soccer?
And because it's Jules Dejour scored the match's early goal in the second minute before both defenses took over. Monty keeper Cohen Anderson, I know that name, made 12 saves, while the Eagles' defense held the Bulldogs to just 3 shots on goal.
I think Cohen has never played soccer before.
Really?
And decided in his senior year, oh, these guys are cool, I'm going to play soccer. And they put him in goal, and he's 6'3" and long and just making it work.
And a good athlete.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Elma bounced back from its loss to Montesano with a 4-0 home win over Eatonville on Wednesday. Jose Perez scored 2 goals and assisted on another. Kaysen Seberg scored 1 goal and assisted on both of Perez's goals. Luis Torres recorded 1 goal and 1 assist. Elma senior keeper Tanner Thompson recorded the first full game shutout of his career. The win will give Elma the 1A Evergreen League's 3rd seed in the upcoming district tournament. I think also I read that Kaysen Seberg has 99 career goals now.
What?
So be ready for the 100 goal celebration
What?
for Kaysen coming up pretty soon.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that can't be possible.
It's a lot.
That's not right.
Well, Kaysen, last week he scored
can't-
like 10
That's a good point.
in 1 week.
That's bonkers,
And
though.
a few assists also.
That's crazy.
He's really good.
You know, back to your previous story, I'm going to go back to the goals tryouts.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my own tryouts.
Okay.
I'm going to pick goalie this time.
All right. You look really
I
satisfied.
might
with that.
not hurt myself this time.
No, someone else will hurt you.
I once watched a high school varsity goalie get a concussion.
Oh, trust me. I watched my goalies all growing up get hurt all the time. Ted Nelson, by the way, great basketball player. Also played goalie.
7-footer?
And, yeah. Great goalie because he could touch basically each post on either side. But one time he had braces and he took a ball to the face. His lips were,
Not the same?
yeah, they were like hamburger for a bit there.
That's rough.
That was grody.
That's rough.
Anyway, where am I? Raymond
Raymond
South Bend soccer team won at Schmeatonville 4-2 on Monday. The Ravens got 2 goals apiece from Edgar Ramirez and Adam Mora. RSB was back on the pitch and won at Hoquiam 3-2 on Wednesday. JB Fabian scored twice in the first half to give the Grizzlies a 2-0 lead, but the Ravens got 2 first-half goals from Edgar Ramirez and a second-half goal from Adam Mora for the win.
Hoquiam Soccer notched a 5-0 home win over Tenino
Yes.
on Monday. Either JB Fabian or Santiago Martinez Ortiz scored a hat trick for the Grizzlies.
What?
You're going to have to take that up with the Daily World.
Okay.
In the article, they had one guy scoring 3 goals, and then in the box score, they had another guy scoring 3 goals, so I'm not sure which one it was. But good congratulations to whichever it was.
Yeah.
And Hoquiam's defense held Tenino to just 2 shots on goal.
Aberdeen boys soccer team improved to 6-5 in the 2A Evergreen League play on Thursday with an OTPK win over SHHS. Wait, no. Sorry, there's so many acronyms. Over Shelton after regulation and 1 OT period. The game was tied at 0-0 with 30 seconds left. In the second OT, the Bobcats appeared to score a goal off the header of Elmer Torres, then the foot of Ruben Oropeza, but it was waved off due to a controversial offside call. Oh man, officials. However, Evan Cohn, Edgar Seja, Elmer Torres, and Mark Avila scored PK goals in the shootout for a 4-2 Aberdeen win.
In girls tennis, in the first meeting between the 2 programs in 13 years, thanks to the revival of the Hoquiam girls tennis program, Aberdeen beat Hoquiam 5-1 on Tuesday in Hoquiam. The Bobcats swept the singles matches with wins from Callie Knutson, Sophie Knutson, and Kinsey Irvin. Aberdeen's doubles teams of Maritza Guzman and Hadley Durr and Sydney Storr and Letitia Alvarenga won their matches with Hoquiam's lone win provided by the duo of Megan Gilbert and Dylan Little. Aberdeen also defeated Black Hills on Monday 5-1 with singles wins from Maddie Ritter and both Knutsons, and a doubles win from Monse Lopez and Maritza Guzman.
Those Knutsons can play tennis.
Knutsons, man.
Yeah, Sophie's undefeated. In track and field, the Montesano hosted a meet on Thursday and picked up boys and girls team wins. Ashton McKinney won the 100 and 200 for the Bulldogs on the boys' side.
He's fast.
Apparently, the Bulldogs girls won 15 of 18 events. Yeesh. With several multiple event winners, including, of course, Haley Schweppe, who was dominant as usual, Sam Roundtree, and Mackenzie Eaton, and Elena Olsen, and Michaela Stanfield. I totally botched that. I didn't read the events, but
I think you nailed it. Aberdeen's
Yeah.
boys and girls track teams each placed second at a meet in Rochester on Thursday. On the boys' side, Henry Nelson won the 400. Caleb
good.
Schimmelfinney won both hurdle events. Tyler Bates won the shot put and the discus. And the 4x400 relay team of Schimmelfinney, Nelson, Cordell Roberts, and Micah Schroeder won as well. On the girls' side, Riley Brooks won the shot put, Bella Bruner won the discus, and Zoe Tro, not Annie, won the triple jump.
Zoe loves that triple jump. Raymond hosted a track meet on Thursday, which Hoquiam also attended. Hoquiam's boys took second as a team, with Raymond in third. Hoquiam's Riker Maxfield run the 800 and the 1600. Raymond got the win from Austin Snodgrass in the 100 and shot put. Don't see those too often.
Yeah.
Chris Banker in the high jump and the 4x100 relay team of Snodgrass, Banker, Logan Frank, and Isaac Schluter. Hoquiam's girls took third with wins from Caitlin Broadhead in the 100 and 200, Emily Broadhead with the 400, Sydney Gordon in the shot put, and Haley Jenner in pole vault. Raymond's girls placed fifth with wins by Ava Bauer in the high jump and Mary Indalecio Loza in the 3200. Can only imagine that Jane was somewhere else.
Elmo's track teams were in Edenville on Thursday and placed second on both the boys and girls side. Elma boys picked up wins from Ricardo Guadarrama in the 100, Frank Roberts in the 800, Ryder Nelson in the 100, 10 hurdles, 300 hurdles, and Jacob Meadows in the triple jump, and the 4x4 relay team of Ashton Brown, Aaron Tuttle, Nelson, and Jackson Schneider. On the girls' side, Georgia Burkhart won the 100 hurdles, 300 hurdles, triple jump, and Faith Bossard won the long jump.
I believe you mean triple jump. North Beach's boys track team took first at a Pacific League meet in Ocasta on Thursday. North Beach got wins from Elton Rocky in the 300 hurdles and from the 4x400 relay team of Wyland Lomediso, Kobe Charlie, Dakota Russell, and Atticus Pullis Lauderdale. I think I got those right. Ocasta's Ivan Weber won the pole vault. On the girls' side, North Beach placed second and Ocasta third. North Beach winners were Elka Cox in the 200, 100 hurdles, and 300 hurdles, Jasmine Goldman in the 1600, and the 4x100 relay team of Mackenzie Osborne Hansen, Cox, Violet Donson, and Piper Fleming Engler. Whew.
That was a lot.
Track results, man. And we
And
have
that'll
like
conclude
100
the-
soccer games.
That will conclude the local sports roundup, and we are kind of at the point of the local sports season where things are starting to settle. Like you're kind of starting to see with soccer and baseball who's settling in what spot, and in softball there's still a lot of games to be played, but you're kind of starting to see who the good teams are and who's competing. Monty, Elma, Hoquiam, softball, all super competitive.
As usual.
It'll be interesting to see how, number one, how that plays out down the stretch, and number two, what that means when we get to state competition. Like how many of those teams are going to be able to advance to state, and what will they do when we get there? Because there's been times where, especially in softball, the best softball in the state is played in Grays Harbor.
Yeah.
Whether it's Elma or Monty or Hoquiam, and like what we saw, I think what's happening in Aberdeen's really special too. You know, they ended up going and winning a state trophy last year, and they're better this year.
Yeah.
You know, you add Annika Hollingsworth to a roster that's already really good with Lily Camp,
Yep.
a couple of Yakoviches, and a bunch of other good players. This is a team that I think people pegged from the beginning for the Bobcats to be like, we're going to go compete for a state title. And then you have three teams on the 1A side locally who also are really good. And I don't know if any of them is quite state title level. It remains to be seen. I mean, there was a Bulldog team that I don't think many people considered during the season to be state title level, and they went and won a state title.
Yeah.
But I do think it's been proven very often that some of the best softball that's played in the entire state is played in Grays Harbor.
Which is super weird. Because I remember back in the day, my dad was like, hey, have you ever thought of the role that bad weather plays on how good your baseball programs can be? And at the time, I was like, yeah, I was at an unfair disadvantage. And now I'm watching these fast pitch teams in the area continue to dominate. And I was like, something's wrong with the baseball programs around here. Because
Well,
it
some of
doesn't seem to affect the fast pitch programs.
It kinda
because they've
depends.
all graduated to programs.
Yeah.
And there is not a program in baseball yet.
Well, Hoquiam's had some really good baseball teams.
And Monty's had some, but they haven't sustained.
Monty's had more higher level recently.
Yes.
And what they did
Hoquiam
last year.
had that 2-year run where they took
Yep.
first, and then did they take first?
Did they take first?
Yeah, they won it, and then they took second or third.
Well, they had a year
I think it was
that
third.
that Monty was supposed to be better, and then Hoquiam knocked them out, I think, in regionals.
Yeah.
And then, with Monty last year making it to the semifinal, being really close to making it to the state title game. And then I think,
Don't get me started about that Monty COVID team that didn't get to play. They were so good.
Yeah.
That's
Would
a
have won
bummer.
state.
So
Probably.
really big expectations, I think, on some of our local teams. And that's not even talking about the individuals that we have, like Jane Roloff, who are going to go do really great things in the postseason. Some of the teams that we have, I think we have really high expectations for in baseball and softball. I don't know. I think Elma's baseball team is good. Aberdeen's baseball team is okay, but they're also playing in a really difficult league.
Yep.
And I think that the expectation for Monty's baseball team is you need to go do better than you did last year.
And last year was pretty darn good.
Last year was pretty darn good, and this year it's to go make the state title game and win the state title, and anything less than that is going to feel like a little bit of a letdown. It's tough when you become the number one team while there's still a few weeks left in the season.
Yeah.
And I don't think much is going to change at this point because they only have one game left
Wow.
on their schedule. So they just have to go play Eatonville, and then their schedule is going to be completely done. And we'll see what happens with the rest of it. But I think that Monty is going to go into the state tournament, one of the top couple of few teams, and they're going to be expected to go compete for a state title.
Gosh. They've got a good squad, too.
They do, yeah.
I really like their pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really like their pitching. And that's usually what you run up against when you get into districts, regionals, state,
Yeah.
is sometimes you get a good team with one stud pitcher. And they go and they dominate that first game, but you have to win 2 games usually to advance.
Yeah.
Whether it's in districts, regionals, in regionals, you literally have to win 2 games. Like, you have to win your first one and then win your next one to move on to state. It's really hard. Districts, I think you get a game in there somewhere where you could lose one and still win the next one to get there. You still have to win like 2 out of 3, I'm pretty sure. That's how it's set up. But you see that fairly often of like this good team really good team gets to regionals, faces 2 good pitchers, or uses their one good pitcher, faces 2 stud pitchers and only beats one of them.
Yeah.
And they don't make it to state. It's the teams that have 2, if they have 2 studs who can pitch a complete game, then they can move on. Or it's the teams that have 2 good pitchers and 3 great relievers, and then they can move on. And that's what I like about this Monty team. I trust Camden. I trust the Grub. I can't.
Caden.
Yeah. I can never remember which one it is that pitches. I trust Skyler.
Yeah.
Those are 3 really good pitchers. And then you have Jackson Wilson, who's a really good pitcher. And is there another person who throws some too?
There's probably several. And partly I would be speaking in ignorance here because, I coached these guys when they were in Little League and, intermediate levels, and a lot of them pitched.
Yeah, well,
They don't really pitch anymore. So I couldn't say for sure.
Right.
But I know Camden.
But just the fact that you have Camden, Caden, and Skyler.
Yeah.
For a
And
lot
the
of
fact that
teams,
you have the flexibility of having a guy like Skyler Bovey be your relief pitcher is
right?
pretty great. He has started some games.
Yeah.
But he's awesome in the relief role.
Yeah.
And when you get to so let's say they advance to the state semifinals, you got to have 2 good pitchers to start your games.
Yep.
And then having a guy who could be your relief pitcher that could pitch in both of
pitch in
them.
both of them, exactly.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's the type of kid that I would trust with pitching multiple innings in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I also did read that Cheese Keaton from P.L. Willapa Valley is an MVP candidate.
Nice.
I don't know who is saying that specifically, but I know that it was written. It was written in black and white that he's an MVP candidate. Ali Parkin from Montesano softball. Although I feel like we fall into when Monty softball won the state title, I don't think we had a single athlete of the week from Monty softball that whole season.
It was
because
hard.
there was somebody stepping up and doing different things all the time.
Yeah.
We had Ali Parkin in the nominees last week, but there was so many other great things that happened that it kind of gets overshadowed. But Ali Parkin's really good. They've got some other girls on this team that are doing great things. Riley Timmons is their main pitcher. She's excellent. So I expect to see Monty softball doing really well.
Yeah.
But Hoquiam softball is on a surge right now. I think they've won 4 out of 5. If I read it right and I'm remembering it right.
They're on a surge like it's 90s soda.
But they're also
2000
hammering
soda?
the ball.
Yeah.
I think they had like 18 hits in 2 games in a row. And the one game they had 6 home runs. Faith Prosh hit 3, and 3 other girls hit a home run in that same game.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
What's up?
My phone's going to die.
Uh-oh.
And that's where my script is.
What if you, here, take it out of your case and try to stick this on the back and see if it'll work. Hang on.
Do you have wireless charging, Daniel?
I think so. I haven't used it.
Here. Let's try to... Is that charging?
Please charge. I've got this little magnet on the back. Would that block it?
No, the magnet should... magnet...
It pulled the magnet off.
Oh.
Apparently, I do not have wireless charging. I have an old phone. Shoot.
So old. I kind of remember when you got your phone.
I was so excited.
It was very exciting.
Yeah. I
Like
need a
this
new one.
new cool
I mean,
thing.
this is how old my phone is. 1 camera lens.
Yeah.
Like I've
I've
never
got
thought that would show you as like being an old phone guy.
I've got 2 camera
But
lenses.
having 1 camera lens.
Yeah. You're basically a loser.
Pretty much. Wow, my phone feels nice without the case.
Well, we do have the very difficult task of naming a Spivey Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, we're hosed. I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know what we're going to do either. But before we do that, we need to take a commercial break, and Daniel's going to read it.
Oh, yes, I am. Spivey Realty Group goal is to make buying, selling, investing, and renting real estate in Grace Harbor simple. They believe in 100% transparency and unparalleled communication with local expertise, tech-enhanced, and top-notch service for their friends, neighbors, and community. Their goal is simple. Get a group of strong-willed, hard-working people together who want to make a difference in Grace Harbor and use real estate as the means of achieving that. Voted Grace Harbor's best real estate company. Find them on Facebook or visit graceharborrealestate.com. Spivey Realty Group, elevating small town real estate. And specifically, Spivey, Kevin, great athlete. Also, Chris Pirog, not only great dude, not only my god brother. Yes, it's a thing. Don't ask me what that means. He's a good athlete too. And if you want to challenge me on that, watch him play Ultimate Frisbee. Dude's a stud. Chris Pirog, I mean, if he wasn't my first pick, he would be my second pick whenever we went to play. Actually, he would always be my first pick because we had a god brother connection, which like elevated both of us from like I was like he was like a 1A player and I was like a 2B player. But if you got us together, he went to a 1 Ultimate player and I went into like a 1B player.
You're talking about Chris?
Chris.
Oh, I could take Chris in Ultimate Frisbee. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'd be shutting him down.
No.
He wouldn't be catching crap.
No, he'd be. Wait, why would you want to catch crap?
He wouldn't be catching any Frisbees. No discs, bro. I would shut him down.
But you gotta admit, when Chris and I were on the
challenge
same
Chris
team,
right now.
when Chris and I were on the same team, though,
Yeah.
elevated,
Not what I remember. I remember.
bruh. You're just being mean right now.
I don't know why. I just came in here and chose violence.
You did.
Yeah.
It's not usual. It's not unusual. That's weird. Why did I bring that up? It's not normal, I would say, that we have maybe one of our highest ranked nominees for Athlete of the Week not even be in our local sports roundup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've got 2 things really pressing on my mind right now. One of them is I think you're going to have to like lead this discussion for a little bit.
Okay.
Can you do that?
So, yeah.
Because the other one is just the utter dominance of Jane freaking Roloff. And we have a quandary and a conundrum and a constitutional issue. Not constitutional. I just needed another cuss-sounding name so I could alliterate 3 times there.
You know, it's a constitutional problem.
I am confused, confounded, and
Constitutional.
And
constitutional.
And constipated.
I am bewildered, befuddled, and straight up boondoggled about what we should do. So you need to talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So we've got a very difficult decision here because we have it's a kind of a short list for Spivey Athlete of the Week, but there are candidates here that are very worthy. I think, like I had mentioned before, we kind of fall into this trap sometimes that the teams that are the best teams, but they get contributions from multiple players, they kind of get lost in the shuffle. I do not want to lose track of what Aberdeen softball is doing. They had a very, very great week with a couple of wins, a couple of league wins, and stellar performances from their two best players. Lily Camp getting a 7-inning complete game shutout, allowing 3 hits and striking out 16 batters, while also hitting a 2-run home run. And then you had Annika Hollingsworth pitching a complete game 1-hitter with 15 strikeouts and getting 2 hits in that game, including a 2-run home run. So those are some nominees that I think are absolutely essential to have on the list and very deserving of recognition. And then you have Faith Prosh in Hoquiam softball, and we've seen some really big performances from Hoquiam softball this season. But what she did in one of their games against Tenino is really, like, we had Lexi LeBounty a couple weeks ago as our athlete of the week when she drove in 8 runs for Hoquiam softball. But there was a point here where Faith, along with Lexi and Katie Sauer, hit back-to-back-to-back home runs. And then Faith was like, not enough home runs for me. I'm going to hit 2 more. So in this game, she goes 4 for 5. And I think she goes 4 for 5 with 3 home runs. But just like we talked about, was it Lexi who we were like, oh, they don't mess around with singles? Like, singles are lame. Who was we had a softball player we were talking about who thought singles were lame and only got extra base hits. So Faith gets 4 hits in the game. 3 of them are home runs. The other one's a triple. She scored all 4 times that she got on base, and she drove in 8 runs with her 4 hits. So that is a crazy softball performance by Faith Prosh. And then you have the Jane Roloff conundrum.
Yeah.
Because Jane went to the Nike Jesuit Twilight Invitational meet. And by the way, while she was there, I don't have like the full list of schools she was competing against, but
I'm looking that up.
The second place person in this event, which she won by 2.5 seconds in the 1500, was Alexis Leon from Seton Catholic, who I believe won the state title or either district or state title 2 years ago in cross country. So we know Alexis Leon is a really good distance runner.
They were talking about her on the video that I watched.
So great competition there.
Yeah.
Jane, I don't know why they run the 1500 meter as opposed to a 1600 meter, but she ran a 4 minutes and 37.25 seconds. And if you watch the video, she just crushed the competition.
Andrew, I don't know what our capabilities are, but it would be cool if we could like show the end of that video. I don't know if that's possible. But the other thing is I'm just reading on a website here about the 22nd annual Nike Jesuit Twilight Relays. And for the 1500, it says that the final field will consist of the top 60 competitors entered. You may submit up to 6 names for this event. So this is basically the top 60 racers in the state, at least in the state. Maybe you can.
Yeah, maybe there's more from outside the state.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
you
know.
can.
So the one says Crater. Is there a Crater High School in Washington? I've never heard of it.
Let's see. Jesuit High School. Well, it's in Oregon, so.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong there.
Bad job by you.
Yeah, so at least the region, if not, the nation here at this meet. Just silly.
So it's crazy, first of all, that she did that on Friday.
Yeah.
So then,
Andrew, just wondering, is that the type of thing that you can like put on our broadcast, just having a video?
I
don't know.
I can do that. I usually like to
have
know
some
that
warning.
I'm going to do it before I'm doing it.
That's understandable.
that was so passive aggressive.
Was it? I thought it was pretty aggressive. Anyway, there
Also, apparently, Facebook's video player is pretty crappy.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook's everything's pretty crappy, isn't it?
Facebook's Instagram is okay.
Meta.
I mean,
Instagram.
of the social media platforms.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I'm down with that. That's the one I use the most, probably.
it definitely is. It has to be. Like, judging by the amount of Instagram reels that you send me, if you're using other social media platforms more than that, you got a problem, bro.
Oh, you're so right.
Uh,
Anyway, if we want, Andrew can pull that up. I just think the visual of it, and the fact that the announcers, because this is a big enough track meet, that they have like legit broadcasters of whatever this video is.
Who knew what they were talking about?
Who knew what they were talking about,
Wow.
except for the fact that they had no idea who Jane Roloff was.
Did they know
Because
which state
they-
it was in?
They started talking about other people.
Oh.
And like throughout their, and they're like, "Oh, watch out for this girl. Oh, watch out for this girl." And then they're like, Roloff with a commanding effort here. Let's see if any. Nope. Can anybody take? Nope. Jane Roloff of Hoquiam. I was like,
Don't they know it's Hoquiam?
These poor guys have no clue about Jane Roloff and the awesomeness. Oh, cool. Andrew
Okay.
can bring it up.
There you go.
That's awesome.
It's 1,500.
So, if you can move it to like the last 1 minute of the race,
Jane Roos of East Lake High enters with the quickest time at 4:40.
Last minute.
yeah, let's try that right there. So
He
we're
usually
gonna,
likes to know beforehand when he's.
I
going to
know
do this.
no, all of this is just extreme bad teammate stuff by me. I'm not putting.
Makes excellent radio.
I'm
You
not
seem
putting
so
in.
unapologetic about it. To
Well,
be honest.
radio-
Like, I'm looking at your face.
A
And you don't.
Roloff
So
trying to
here's
surge out ahead.
they say Roloff trying to surge out
Yeah,
ahead.
Roloff
This
really
is
making a move. You saw, as you said, as soon as that bell lap hit, she really just took off. It's been a tactical race so far, but Roloff confidently making her move.
they said that,
And here on the outside, as
She's
mentioned
in the lead
before,
by,
is
like,
Leon as
10
she moves
meters.
into second.
So she was in second until the final lap started, and then they mentioned the bell hit, and she just
Confident
took off.
looking.
Now
Jane
she's
Roloff right now extending the advantage.
she's like
with
30
150
meters.
left.
maybe 20,
Brown trying to
and then they come
valiant
to
effort here to close the gap.
they come
This
to
is
the
strong
last stretch,
turnover here from Jane Roloff.
and all of a sudden the camera person's like, how do I watch both of these girls at the
It's
same
going to be Jane
time?
Roloff's
Oh,
race.
Camera
I guess we
angle.
can.
Switch
Be
the camera.
well
Yeah.
under 440 here.
just-
Roloff wins. Goes 1,500.
And then just
What a
walks
strong
off.
move. She just took off with 400 meters to go and didn't give it up. A well-deserving win for the senior from Hoquiam.
69.
Hoquiam.
well-deserving win from the senior from Hoquiam.
I love that, like, Jane takes off there,
Yeah.
and they can't even keep everyone in the frame
Yeah.
on the home stretch because she's so far ahead. That's awesome.
Yeah, if
And then when she finishes, she just kind of strolls off, like, this is just what I do. I'm Jane Roloff, man. Running is just what I am.
so she go watch the video. Chad Allen posted that.
Yeah,
It was
I did.
awesome.
I think I shared that.
Yeah.
If
I
I,
think you're
haven't
right.
shared it yet to our scrimmage page, I will share it to our scrimmage
Yeah.
page.
Did you talk about what she did the next day yet?
No.
So I went on Chad's page last night to be like, oh, I need to show my wife this video of Jane Roloff. And it wasn't still the top post about Jane Roloff because apparently that was Friday. And yesterday she went to this massive meet at Shelton.
Yeah.
And, oh, no big deal. Just set a school record for the 800 and one female athlete of the meet.
Did she break her? No, that wasn't when she broke her own record.
No, this was a
It was the mile-
14-year-old
Yeah.
800 record set by Connie Morgan. And if you remember Connie, she was a heck of an athlete
I
and
do not.
obviously a heck of a track athlete for Hoquiam back in
Trathlete.
2010. Yeah, one of those triathletes.
Yeah.
You know what I say about triathletes. Anyway,
I kind of want to know.
I say good parents don't let their kids track lead. And it has nothing to do with the track events. It's that if you go watch your kid at a track meet, you're going to be there for like 4 hours. And if they're sprinters, you get like 40 seconds of action. in that time.
You should train your kid to be slower so you get more action, because then their times will be slower.
Or longer. Faster, longer?
You don't want your kids to run the 3200. Then they just hate themselves.
Well, that's what Jane Roloff does.
Yeah, but she seems to have found a balance, with good mental health.
The secret might be cookies.
Also,
you're right.
You know what the secret might be?
The secret is cookies.
The secret might I eat a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
The secret might be just that, like, different people like different things. So, like,
That's
some
silly talk,
people
Justin.
like running, like long distances, or if you're on the podcast
Daniel's
listening audio
Daniel's
only,
doing his best Dr. Evil impression.
he was making a face that I cannot possibly describe.
Nobody can.
So yeah, Jane broke she broke the school record. So she has the school record in the 32 and the 16 already, right?
Yeah.
So now she holds the school record in all three?
Yep. Because
She doesn't stop running.
She broke the school record by 4 seconds.
That's a large margin.
in the 800. Is she gonna go do the 400 now just to see if she can keep grabbing school records? Like, that's not even an event she does, but maybe she's just like, I think I can get that school record in the 400 too.
By the way,
She might accidentally break it in the first half of the 800.
at the same Shelton Invitational, Sydney Gordon had a PR in the shot put.
Yeah.
To earn third place. Haley Johnner, am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Okay. Haley Johnner had a second place performance in the high jump at 5 feet and third in the pole vault at 8 feet 6 inches. And then Caitlin Broadhead and Riker Maxfield also had, according to Chad, had good performances in their respective events. But unfortunately, no one can hold a candle to the great Jane Roloff. Which, by the way,
Dave's commenting on here.
Okay, what does he say?
But Andrew. Is there a way you can scroll up a bit? Because I can see he
it just
says
started with L.
Okay, so
I don't know I don't know who that is or what
Dave
they're
Beeler
saying.
says Crater is in Oregon.
Okay.
Leone is the past 2-time 1A state champion.
Okay, that was what I was wondering, because I knew Alexis Leone
in the 1600 meters.
Alexis Leone from Seton Catholic. I knew she was a defending state champion of some type. So thank you, Dave, for that.
2-time.
Also, I said, where's Crater?
Oh, okay,
because that was one
Crater.
of the high schools on the list that I saw.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so that's in Oregon.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It's probably close to Crater Lake.
Yeah, I should have known that. My bad. Bad job by me.
Bad job by you. Terrible.
Yeah.
How did you,
Dave? Just throwing this out there. Do you think Jane could break the 400 record? Judging her first half splits of the 800.
It's actually so unfair to be like, hey, Jane, you're a really great distance runner. I know that you're like, you broke the school record in the 3200 and you're a cross-country All-American. Let's have you run shorter distance, break the record in the 1600, break the record in the 800.
I didn't think it was possible until she just broke.
You're wondering how far down we can go.
Yes.
So we go 400, 200, 100, see what Jane's breaking point is.
Then after she does that, high jump.
No, so what's
going
to
to
happen is she's going to go
jump.
She's going to go run the 400 and win it, but not break the record. And we're going to be like, oh, great.
Lame.
Would you look at the first half, her first half split, or would you want to look at like her first 100 split and add it to her last 100, or her first 200 split and add it to her last?
I'd want to know her,
because presumably she's pushing a
I
little
don't
bit
think
harder
splits
at
are going to
the
help
end,
you
right?
at that. I don't think splits are really.
I think it'd be hard to get splits.
Because in the 400, you like basically run the whole way.
You mean sprint the whole way? I mean, all of these, you run the whole way.
Not the way most of these people do it.
I don't see anybody walking these events, dude.
But like, there's a jog. You know, like there's a difference between a run and a jog.
I think some of theirs look like jogs because the rest of the people are running. But to us, they would definitely be running.
But you definitely don't sprint all of a 400.
Look, if you have really
these
long
people
legs,
do.
sometimes you're moving really fast and it still looks like you're jogging.
I've watched a lot of 400s this year. Like,
okay,
people
maybe in
aren't
high school
sprinting
you're
at
not
top speed for 400 meters.
So in high school you don't?
Like, they're running fast.
Yeah.
They're probably running at like 90%.
Dude, so in the higher levels, they're running 400s in like 44 seconds. They're sprinting the whole way.
What's the higher levels?
Like college and Olympics. Those are the only things I know.
Okay.
Sorry. So
No,
those
you're good.
people are sprinting the whole way.
Okay.
So I guess in high school, it would make sense that they're not. I guess. What are their times?
I mean, if you run like a
The seniors should be getting darn close, though.
if you run in the 52s on a 400 on the boys' side, you're really fast.
So think of what a 52.
Yeah.
That would be how. That would be for what 13-second 100s.
Guys, we're not a math pod.
13 seconds is a really slow 100.
It's a kind of slow 100. I mean, 12 flat is something that gets run, and I guess it's a short race, so a whole second behind.
Yeah.
But the winners we've seen this year have been a whole second behind Jared Ronquillo's time.
That's true. That's a good point. Jared, I still maintain one of the fastest people I've ever personally played sports with. Like,
Yeah.
That guy is incredibly
Just
so fast.
bonkers.
Also, I once watched him run himself into the ground. You know how like sometimes you run and you
Like
run
a cartoon?
Yeah, like you're running and then
Like their
you're-
feet start going and they just
yeah,
sink?
No. Like you start running, but
There's
then
just
you
dirt
get
flying up.
like
Yeah.
the top half of your body gets lower and lower because your legs can't quite keep like your body can't keep up with your legs, and then eventually you fall.
Yeah.
You run yourself into the ground.
Okay.
I mean, I've done it.
Yeah.
I watched Jared do that once. It made me feel a lot better about myself. So I was like, if even Jared Ronquillo can run himself into the ground, anyone can.
Yeah. So Coach Beeler says Connie Morgan, who Jane just beat the 800
Yeah.
record of. Apparently Connie was a sprinter who played up, whereas Jane's a distance runner who played down.
Yeah.
In distances. I'm not saying up or down in like talent, but Connie has the 400 record right now at 58 seconds. Jane ran close to her PR in the 400, in the first 400 of the 800. She was 66-68. So in the first 400 meters of Jane's last 800,
She was 10 seconds off.
she was 8 to 10 seconds off.
But she would run a lot faster if she knew she was only running 4.
That's an alarm because Jane Roloff's speed just set something on fire somewhere.
Something. There's smoke. It's the smoke from Jane Roloff's feet from yesterday.
Yes, it just got to Matlock.
It
She was
just
in
got to
Shelton.
It
She
just
was
got
in-
to the woods.
She was in Shelton, so the wind has slowly taken it to Matlock
Yeah.
Woods area.
Well, I have, when I say on the record, it means that I said it in the car on the way here.
Yeah.
I am on the record that I am officially going to lift my boycott of Jane Roloff because of cookies. So we had said collectively as a group, Jane Roloff can't be Athlete of the Week again until she makes us cookies. And I'm saying that I'm not saying she needs to be Athlete of the Week, but what I will say is that on my end of this is a tripod, right? Okay, so one leg of the tripod goes down.
Yeah.
Because
we fall over.
my boycott of Jane Roloff is officially over.
I will say that the longer this goes on, the less credibility we have
That's
as
true.
a news organization.
I didn't even think about that. I don't. You know how little I care about our credibility? Is there a number less than 0? That's how little I care
Again,
about our
not a math
credibility.
pod.
Justin calls it our credibility.
Credibility?
Yeah.
I have the ability to crud.
Here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
We have the Trace Ridgeway snub of the week.
Yeah.
We might have the Jane Roloff snub of the week if something doesn't change here soon.
And it's just that it's just her.
Look,
It's
you just
Jane
popped.
Roloff
You just
is
popped
Jane
up the
Roloff.
end of that video, and it's just Jane after just dominating, just
yeah,
casually
still
checking her watch. Like, should I go get lunch? Did
Well,
I
she's
leave the oven on? Did I leave my cookies in the oven?
No, she's about to start running again
Did-
because Jane never stops running. So she ran this 800 or this 1500 that we watched the video of.
Yeah.
She won, dominated everyone.
Yep.
Won by 10 to somewhere between 10 and 30 meters.
Yep.
You can't tell because you can't see the other people
Yep.
in the shot. And then she was like, you know what? I'm going to go run some more.
She
So
probably
was
ran
like,
home.
Oh,
how's
look at
my
the
heart
time.
rate? Yeah, she ran home from Oregon.
Yeah,
She probably ran home from
exactly.
Oregon.
Yeah. Do you remember? I get the gist. Do you remember that old Ken Griffey Jr. commercial where the pitch is coming? Do you remember this? It's like a Pepsi commercial, and Ken Griffey
And
goes,
he's thinking about
four seam fastball,
Yeah.
95 probably, outer half of the plate.
Yeah.
Did I leave my oven on?
Yes, I do remember this.
And then he looks over in the dugout and he's like, Sammy, stealing my Pepsi. And then he hits a foul ball like right at the dugout. That's Jane Roloff. Like, did I leave the oven on? My cookies are burning.
So the discussion that we had on the way out here is it really fair for Jane Roloff to continuously win Athlete of the Week because she's performing on another level from what most of our local athletes are?
Yeah.
But she hasn't won it in a while.
That's what, like a week?
Well, that's a lot. No, it's been like...
Has it been 2 weeks?
It's been like a month.
Has it really?
I'll check. You know how we said we needed a list? I didn't do that.
I did not.
But I can go...
I should do that. That
I can
should be
go
a job
to
that I do.
Our Instagram page. Okay, so last week it was Olivia Moore.
Okay.
Before that it was Tyler Keaton, who I'm assuming is related to cheese.
Yep.
And before that it was Lexi LaBounty.
Okay.
And before that it was Jane Roloff. So it's been a month. It's
Okay.
been a month since Jane Roloff has been Athlete of the Week. And
can we look at some of the... Can we look at... So we have... You have Annika and Lily Camp. Annika Hollingsworth, Lily Camp.
From Aberdeen softball, both very
Dominant,
deserving candidates who had dominant pitching performances and also hit a home run in the same game.
Exactly. And then you got Faith Prosh, who hit 3 taters in one game.
And 8 RBIs.
8
Also a
RBI and a triple. What?
Yeah.
Wait, so she went 4 for 4 with
4 for 5 with
4
a triple. Well, she got out once, though.
There it is.
Jane Roloff would never get out.
What equivalent finish in a race is getting out once?
I mean, second, right?
Is it second or is that?
Well, if you also have 3 home runs and a triple, then yes, getting second once would be
I was thinking
getting
it was
out.
separate races. Like a home run is obviously winning.
So, like, if Jane ran 3 races and she finished first, second.
That would be like 3 home runs and a triple,
No,
right?
it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Not the
I
same.
don't know how we compare this.
I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Dave says that was her splits yesterday. She can probably go 60. Ooh, so
she could push close.
he says that she could probably push it. I want to see her
Let's
try,
get a
but-
commitment from Dave Beeler right now that Jane Roloff is going to try to break the school record in the 400, because then she could just have all of them.
Right. Well, what was our challenge?
We were going to run a 1600 in the amount of time it takes Jane to run a 32.
Except
And
for
by
that was
we,
yours.
you mean
I wanted
you
to be.
all.
I wanted to run 400.
I'm telling
in
you-
the time she ran 1600.
But I'm telling you, at the genesis of when this challenge was created, that was what we said we were going to do.
I don't know if I could run that long.
I can do it. Give
I
me
don't
2 weeks
want
to train.
Run a 400.
So
period.
what's her?
Give me 2
32?
weeks to train, and I'll be half as good as Jane Roloff is.
We need to.
I don't believe you.
What is her 3200 time?
Who remembers?
I can't remember it at the moment, but it's got. Let's see, it's probably around 11 minutes.
I think it's like, is it like
It's probably 11 something.
11:54?
I don't know if I can run a mile that fast, dude.
Or is it 10:54 or 11:54? I don't remember.
It's probably 10:54, and I don't know if I can run a mile that
I
fast.
keep checking over to the chat to see if Dave's popping
Yeah,
in, telling us what her time was.
but I need one of those fast timers that
Give me
your
2
son
weeks
was
to train.
talking about.
Yeah, right.
Your son Peyton today was telling me that some of the schools have fast timers.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Yeah. Well, some of them, they use different starters too. Like some use pistols, some use like some kind of crinkling sound.
What?
Like it's weird. Yeah.
Dude, I want a full-on gun.
Like an
not
actual,
even
you
not
want
even
it to
shoot-
fire a
Not
real
starting
bullet?
this.
Yeah, and who knows where that's coming down?
That
but
sounds really unsafe.
you know, tough.
There's just birdshot radio from the.
You know, like the shotgun start in golf.
Yep.
Except I want it to be like pellets, like duck and cover.
Seems unsafe.
Probably,
Yeah.
but it adds excitement to the event.
Okay.
Every sprinting event, somebody could possibly get nipped in the leg.
You know what? I sit in the stands under the cover, and I never sprint, so I'll never have to worry about it.
You'll probably be fine. So you seem pretty sold
On what?
on who our athlete of the week is.
All I said was I've ended my boycott on Jane Roloff.
Okay.
Like he thinks that she should be
What
considered.
what was Faith's other game? Because they had to have played 2 games.
Yeah, they did play 2 games, but the stats weren't significant in the other game.
But was there some stats?
I think she had a hit. I think she had 1 hit.
That's a stat.
I want to say she was 1 for 4. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's what it was. You're making some weird noises.
I know. Right, dude, why did our athlete of the week have to be... Why did we make this?
Yeah. It's a good point. Does it...
This is hard.
Here's the thing.
So Lily pitched a shutout, all 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits.
Buttload of
walked
strikeouts.
3 batters, struck out 16, also hit a 2-run dinger.
Yeah.
And then Annika threw a complete game 1-hitter with 15 Ks and went 2 for 3 with a tater.
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I want to give it to Jane Roloff.
I do too.
And you know what? For you, it's begrudgingly. For me, it's not, because I've ended my boycott. The boycott is over for me.
I want cookies.
I feel like you're really hanging on to this cookies thing.
I know.
Where if you and I were standing next to each other in public and someone was like, who loves cookies more? Daniel or Justin? They would think it's me.
They would assume it's you.
They would assume it's me.
Yeah.
But they'd be wrong.
Daniel, in fact, loves cookies more than I do.
Andrew, do you have thoughts on this?
No.
Dang it.
Hannah?
Why is Andrew always Switzerland?
Hannah has no thoughts. Andrew can not be Switzerland when we force him into it. Or like do you want to peer pressure him?
I've been trying to figure out if Jalen Sackrider, but I don't think she had a meet this week.
Darn it! You wanted to add
set a school record.
Yeah.
Jalen, by the way, worth mentioning, great athlete from Elma.
Yeah.
Is at Evergreen College now, in track and field.
Right.
And has just decided, hey, I'm going to do some throwing events, and she's just been breaking school records.
Yeah, because she went there to play basketball.
Yeah.
So I think the last meet she was at was the 15th, and she set the school record for discus.
Again.
Yeah.
So she broke her own school record.
Yeah.
For discus.
All right, I'm in. Just for, I don't know that. Dang it. I was about ready to be in, but a 3-dinger game and 2 shutouts with 15 plus strikeouts and homers, those are hard to ignore.
Yeah.
But Jane did it at like a national level meet, and then from what I've heard, a high level multi-classification level. What your son told me today at church.
Yeah.
When I was like, "Hey, did you go to Shelton?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay. This is kind of a big deal then."
The Shelton Invitational is really big.
Yeah.
And the competition level is really high.
And she, you know what? That's the thing I've been leaving out of this. Not only did she set the school record with the 800, but she won female athlete of the meet.
Yeah.
It's got to be Jane Roloff.
It's got to be.
It is.
Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Cookies or no cookies?
Cookies or no cookies?
That's the title of this week's show.
Cookies or no cookies? We keep saying you've peaked because you win these awards, but your peak just
keeps peaking.
You know what? Your mountain is just this giant mountaintop.
Well, she still has to break the school record in the 400.
Oh, so she could do that.
And she's going to the University of Portland to run track and cross country as well.
And break their school records.
Probably.
Yeah.
What is the track and field equivalent of a bucket getter?
Fast.
It's
guy.
You know what it is? It's the Jane Roloff.
The highest level you can achieve in track and field is
Yeah.
the Jane Roloff.
Otherwise known as the Never Stops Running Award.
Yeah.
And that is Jane Roloff. Congratulations. You have won yet again our Spivey Athlete of the Week.
And just
Congratulations.
so you know, Jane, just so you know, Daniel hates it. I'm good with it.
I don't hate it.
You hate it.
I don't hate it.
You're like, oh, that Jane Roloff.
You know what I like?
Man.
Cookies. But cookies. Cookies or no cookies.
Yeah.
Jane Roloff, congratulations. You are our Spivey Athlete of the Week. And Justin, it's you who has to put the time and effort into it. But gosh, we need to find some way to recognize these softballers. Because holy smokes, those were some games and performances this week.
I don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it? What if I make you cookies?
What kind of cookies?
I don't know. You're also taking into account that I'm making the cookies, right?
They're gonna be no bake.
Do you want to answer?
Cook cookies.
Do we want to call this a show, or do you want to go to our final and one of our favorite segments to close it out?
How much time do we have? Yeah, let's do it.
The mailbag.
Yes,
Send
the
us your
mailbag.
stuff. Send us your stuff in a mailbag.
Was that right, or was it the power rankings?
No,
I
those
just
are right.
guessed.
What's power rankings? I don't even remember that segment.
I want to first off throw in. This is from when I was doing a power ranking of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, right.
I would say number 5, and then you'd play the drum roll, and you'd go numero cuatro.
I remember
Or
that.
What's cuatro? What is 5?
Cinco.
Cinco. Yeah.
But he would go numero cuatro.
Every time.
I want to throw this in there. This was a question we got from Steve Bovey 2 weeks ago that said, when will the Mariners fire their manager?
What? You think
Now
this is
they're
the
hot.
You think this is the manager's problem?
There is a subset of baseball fans who don't understand or have not accepted that the way that the Mariners are handling their pitchers and their bullpen is normal / ahead of the curve and not terrible.
Here's the question I really want to answer.
Yeah, I want to know why he thinks he should be
Well,
fired.
it was 2 weeks ago, so they were playing very badly.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
weeks
like,
ago.
what managerial decisions was he making that he's
doesn't
like,
matter.
oh, this is causing them to lose? Like, one comment I heard was recently from somebody else was, oh, Service pulls the pitchers too fast. And first of all, I'm like, Service really doesn't have much of a choice in that.
That's
and second
team
of all,
policy.
yeah, that's team policy. And second of all, in what universe are you watching? Are you watching any baseball around the league? Nobody is pitching 115, 120 pitches a game. Like, the only time that ever happens is if somebody has a perfect game going. And even then, you see random dudes pulled after like 7 innings when they have like 105 pitches.
Now, basically, everyone is Eric Bedard.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But that's not the
Better
question
attitude.
I really
Better
wanted.
attitude,
That's not the
so.
question
Yeah.
I really wanted to answer. Christy wants to know, what's the best kind of food for a food fight?
solid question. It's got to be something throwable, but yet maximum messiness.
Yeah,
right.
I was thinking mashed potatoes.
I was leaning mashed potatoes too.
Okay.
Underrated.
I like mashed potatoes.
So maybe less throwable.
I'm gonna suggest the green bean casserole
Ah.
because it is throwable, sticky, goopy, and also like usually the least good food at the.
What
Oh,
is
I
green
love
bean?
green- I
what
love
is
green
green
bean
bean
casserole.
I like good green bean casserole, but I feel like it's the most commonly thing done wrong.
I'm completely unfamiliar with this food. What is a green bean casserole?
You're not American. Probably it's because you're Polish and don't know anything about American traditions. Green bean casserole is one of the stereotypical Thanksgiving dishes.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Not in my house.
I'm no. That's
Yeah,
what
not in a
I'm
Polish
saying,
household.
Clearly.
Green bean casserole is green beans, mushroom soup, some sort of crunchy bit, and you make a casserole out of it.
That sounds awful. Mushroom soup?
It's pretty good.
That's the
I hate
way you
mushrooms.
make it if you don't want to make it right.
How do you make it right?
If you make it right, there's no soup in it.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought that was like one of the prime ingredients.
No, that's how you're making it if you're like making it from cans.
So
like
you
it's a
two-
can of green
you
beans
So
two-
what do you
and
do?
mushroom soup.
Stop telling me how making
I
it
don't
wrong
make
is
it.
wrong and tell me how to make it right. All you told me was that's wrong. Here's why that's wrong. But you didn't say
Daniel's
how
just
it's
like,
right.
I just like canned soup. Okay?
I just like green bean casserole. I don't know. I'm not the one who makes it. I thought that's how it was made. And you're like, that's not how it's made. That's poopy. Okay, how it's made? Well, not like that. Well, thanks for helping out. Sorry. I feel like that was an overreaction.
That wasn't over.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional. Not gonna lie.
Okay, so
I like green bean casserole.
To be
so
clear.
I now want to know how it's supposed to be made.
Daniel, you grew up with green bean casserole on Thanksgiving.
Not so much on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So, but I did grow up with it.
Okay.
I think it was more of a potluck dish.
I
It was
wonder if
always
this was a side effect of the fact that my parents knew when I was a child, I'd refuse to eat vegetables of any kind.
Were you one of those like ketchup kids?
No, I was a meat guy.
Okay. Well, that meat guy's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't even eat taters until I was like 12, except French fries.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. I'm not sure if it's throwability, but
Okay.
also when I think about mashed potatoes, it might squish too much to throw. Well, too.
I
What
could
about
kind of see it. Yeah.
spaghetti? Maximum messiness.
You can't get it into a ball. I feel like when you fling it, it would kind of go in all kinds of directions.
It would be the shotgun version of this
Okay.
food fight.
So if you're hunting for quail,
Or if you don't care who you hit,
yeah.
you just want to scatter it across the room.
What about mac and cheese?
I feel like that
I
clumps
feel like you
well.
could clump it better than spaghetti.
Yeah,
So you'd have less collateral damage,
yeah,
but maximum like gushiness on the
Splat.
person that you hit.
yeah. Good splat.
I think
Good
it also
splat vector.
it depends on how far you're throwing.
Yeah. Meatballs.
Meatballs, obviously great trajectory,
Yeah.
but you're not getting the.
But what about spaghetti and meatballs? Ooh. Because then they're covered in sauce, so it's like throwing a spitball at people, but with spaghetti sauce.
I think the ideal thing is you want something that's like, it's hard enough to be a projectile, but it's soft enough that it'll go splat when it hits the person. And how far are you throwing it also is a factor.
Yeah.
Like, am I throwing it across the room?
Like a
or
banquet
across
table?
the table?
Is it across a banquet table or just like across a circle table in your house?
Because if it's across a circle table, mashed potatoes, no problem.
Yeah, easy.
Like, I can make mashed potatoes a ball that's going to last 4 feet.
Money. Yeah.
I'm going to hit that person in the eye.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to get
in
in
the
their
ball.
eye.
In the ball.
They're going to need to go to the doctor to get all the potatoes out of their eye.
It could seep into their pupil.
Probably.
I've heard weird things about a pupil. I don't understand how it works.
They're going to have
but
potatoes in their brain.
in their brain.
They're
going to
have to get surgery.
Yeah.
Like brain surgery to get the potatoes out of their brain.
Involving like a weird suction syringe
Yeah.
inserted through the. What is going on? I took a turn and I don't feel comfortable with it.
I think we need some more input from Andrew, even though you really shouted him down. About
I
the
know.
cream of
I feel
mushroom
like a
soup.
jerk, and I'm looking over there now, and all I see is like beans. Andrew's
What kind of beans, Andrew?
I'm just trying to find him a good green bean
recipe.
recipe.
Yeah. I feel like bacon should be involved in a good green bean casserole recipe.
What should be involved in everything?
Bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of delicious food, Hannah's brought us delicious food.
I took a bite before you did.
Dang it, again. I feel like we're missing something here when it comes to a pie. People throw pies in food
True.
fights.
But like, it's not something that can be in your hand very easily.
No.
Ooh,
Andrew?
champagne. That still counts.
Like you got the bottle and you're just squirting it.
Yeah.
Spraying it at people.
So I am not a huge follower of motorsports. I think they're really cool, but I end up not following them a lot.
Yeah.
I have heard that during like motorcycle races, like the big fast motorcycle races, when they win like on the podium, the winner sprays
Yep.
champagne around, and I
Or they
have
dump milk.
heard that is low key super like messes with the other riders because they get sticky and they don't will have other races in the same day.
What? Are you
That's
serious?
what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
They're
but I like to
weaponizing
think-
their
I like
champagne
to think
victories?
that it's true.
I don't want anything that's going to make me sticky.
Keep thinking about food. We got a couple of comments here.
Okay.
Dave Beeler says that her 3,200 time is 10:49. I don't know if I can beat that in a mile.
Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks to train.
Okay.
Absolutely
I got this.
zero chance
When
because
are
I won't finish.
Yeah. When are you starting training? Like today?
2 weeks from when we set the date for when we're doing it. 2 weeks beforehand, I'm training.
What if the date is like next Saturday?
I said give me 2 weeks.
My sister says, I support your overreaction. I want the truth.
So my sister wants to know what actual good green bean casserole is.
You know, it's not so much even the fact that you asked it. It's
It
how
was-
angry you got about it.
I got upset. Well, I got upset because Andrew knows how to push my buttons.
I wasn't doing. You know what? That's fair. He got upset not because I was successfully pushing his buttons, because he knows that I am good at pushing buttons,
Yes.
so he instantly is like ratcheted
Yep.
up to 10.
Exactly. That is 100% what happened there.
Ice
cream.
Ooh.
Ice cream would be
sticky, cold, and messy.
Yeah.
You have to consider, though, like, the effect on you. Like, you're the thrower of the ice cream. You throw the ice cream, you still got ice cream on your hand.
That's true. But what else have we mentioned that you won't still have some remnants
I
of
feel
it
like
on your
mashed
hand?
potatoes, if you don't have gravy with it, like when you release the mashed potatoes, you could kind of just like wipe your hands together and basically get rid of the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Not that I'm an expert in holding mashed potatoes in my hand. That's just how I feel.
I should ask my son. He's an expert in holding most of these in his hand and not using a utensil.
Ask him when you get home.
And I should ask my daughter because she is an expert in throwing said foods.
Ask her when you get home.
As soon as she's not hungry.
Can we bring them on the show? Can we
Absolutely.
get a Zoom link, Andrew? And
No.
get Veda and Anchor?
Nope,
on the
we can't
show?
do that.
Okay. So you have 2 weeks to train, Justin, and you have 10:49 to beat.
Are you healthy?
Am I healthy?
Yeah.
What is this healthy you
Two
speak of?
weeks? 2 weeks?
Oh, you think I can actually? You think I need to be involved in this?
I thought we were all doing it.
Well, Andrew's I absolutely not doing it.
Well, we were going to peer pressure him into it.
I don't think that's going to be possible.
I think we... Pax will run with me.
Pax
Is
will
there, like-
also
can
be
we put,
unable
like-
to
as
run a
tribute?
mile
What-
without falling asleep.
Is there like a treat or something that we can hold at the finish line so that when we get inside
Zero
of it, we can
chance.
just be like, "Go Pax!" And
No.
Justin's the only thing he
Yeah.
Zero
Pax
chance
can run with me.
Pax is motivated by anything other than his
Yeah, but
random
Justin-
thought processes.
Yeah.
you won't be fast enough.
Oh, I will.
So we're gonna have to Pax do it by himself.
Well, he can walk while I run.
You're not grasping the situation here.
Tell me
you
the
won't.
situation.
You won't be fast enough.
Yeah, I will.
We need Pax to be fast enough.
Give me 2 weeks to train.
What? Okay, so
I wonder if
I'm
I
gonna
could get
find a day.
dog cart. For
we're gonna go to a
Pax.
track.
Yeah. Give
And
me
we're
2
gonna
weeks.
run-
Give me 2 weeks notice. I got this.
Okay, I will pick a date. We'll run a mile at a track.
Yeah. You and me.
Me and you.
Pax.
We'll time it.
Not
And-
Andrew, because he...
And we have to beat 10:49.
Okay. I thought it was 10:54.
When I was in shape,
I don't know why Dave
was
is
not
trying
good.
to shave seconds off of it, but whatever.
well, he says it's 10:49.
Okay.
Maybe she set another record while we weren't paying attention. Because, like,
probably.
you know, you turn around and Jane Roloff setting another record.
What does Dave know about Jane Roloff and distance running? What does he think? He's the foremost expert?
Besides Jane herself?
I threw a good recipe from America's Test Kitchen for green bean casserole into the chat, just for everyone.
Are you going to tell us what's
Well,
in it instead
can you
of...
tell me what's not canned soup about it?
There's nothing from a canned in it.
Oh, okay, good. What is it? Just tell me the ingredients. Just
Andrew,
read,
prove a negative.
Just read the ingredients.
White bread, unsalted butter, salt, pepper, French fried onions, salt, green beans,
More
dried
salt.
porcini mushrooms, unsalted butter, onion, white button mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, fresh thyme, pepper, garlic cloves, all-purpose flour, low-sodium chicken broth, and heavy cream.
Okay, there it is. I was like, there's no dairy in this. Something's wrong.
If there's mushrooms in
you
it,
know-
I'm not eating that crap.
Well, mushrooms is a big part of green bean casserole, hence why some people use mushroom soup. My only qualm with that, Andrew, white bread? Really?
Like for croutons?
Like we
for
can
Christmas?
upgrade. We can upgrade that in a heartbeat by not using white bread and by using real bread. Anyway, that's gonna do it for our show today. Yeah.
You're a bread racist?
I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
Wow.
White bread
It's
is
to
the
make
bread,
into
like
crumbs.
American cheese is to cheese.
It's to make into breadcrumbs. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking that
That's
the
what I
white
was-
bread they're talking about is like
it's for
the
texture.
white bread that my wife makes.
It's like for pancake.
Not like cheap white.
This isn't white bread.
brand,
Oh, but last week it was.
That's not white bread.
Yeah, it is.
That's homemade bread.
It's
but
homemade
it's
white bread.
homemade bread with white flour. It is
It's
white
white
bread.
bread.
Made white bread.
It's white
Just
bread.
because it's white doesn't mean it's white bread.
Yes.
Like the term, if I Google white bread, it's not just gonna be like all breads that are white, even the delicious homemade stuff. It's gonna be like, here's the glue you get.
I feel like
what
you
you're
don't
talking
understand
about
what
is
white
the-
bread means.
Is the super cheap white sandwich bread?
Yeah.
And I understand that, but that isn't the only definition of
Because
white bread.
colloquially, that's what it is. Like you Google white bread, and it's all
You're
this
living
garbage
in
breads.
the wrong part of society, my guy.
It's all these garbage breads.
You need to live with the homesteaders in the society of homesteaders.
I googled white bread,
Who make
and
their
the
own white
first
bread.
the
Hey,
first
sour
thing to
bread-
come up is my favorite white bread recipe.
Well, sourdough's white. Is that white bread?
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on though. Sourdough's in a whole different category.
Oh, but it's white bread.
It requires
It's bread that is white.
It requires a completely different process.
This is one of those times where I know I'm on the wrong end of this argument, and I'm just gonna fight it anyway because I
you know
have
what?
a little bit of my dad's genes in me.
Good job, Daniel. Actually, I admire that, to be honest, because I would do the same. So
I understand what you were thinking, but you're overgeneralizing white bread. All the other things we've been saying are also white bread.
Gotcha.
As opposed to rye bread or whole wheat bread or multi-grain bread, white bread.
You know
just
when I
white
lost that
flour.
argument is when I looked over Justin's shoulder and Hannah was like, "You ate white bread last week," and I was like, "Ah, dang it!" That's gonna do it for our show today.
yeah,
Very weird show.
Yeah.
When you think of all the different things we talked about
I liked
today.
it.
It was quality.
Ninja Turtles.
Good work by you. World War I. The Great War, I should say.
Yeah, the Great War.
White bread.
There's no such thing as World War II.
And you know what? What was the title of our show? Do you remember?
Nope.
It was. Is it Cookies or No
Cookies or no cookies?
Cookies or No Cookies?
Yeah, that's it.
You've been listening to The Scrimmage. So, for my trusty co-host, Justin, I've never heard of green bean casserole before Damashevitz.
Or Justin give me 2 weeks to train Damashevitz.
That works too.
And my co-host, Daniel the bread racist, Hargrove.
I like it sour. And our co-host, Andrew, presents the problems without the solutions gross. You've been listening to The Scrimmage.
That bread's good.
It's so good.
It's kind of white.
What are these called? They look like pretzels, but
White.
they taste better than
pretzels.
pretzels.
They're white.
Pretzels.
White
Just
pretzels.
Fold things in pretzel